Hello, and welcome to our masterclass. Have you ever felt like those tiny little words in French, the la, the the cette, can cause some seriously big confusion? Well, if that's you, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to clear all that up. We're going to demystify French determiners and turn what might be a point of frustration into one of your greatest strengths. Let's get started. Now, this masterclass is brought to you by a French Rendezvous. Broadcasting right from the heart of French Canada, we are so passionate about making the rich, beautiful heritage of the French language, symbolized by things like our fleur-de-lis, accessible to absolutely everyone. So, let's dive in together. So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to start with the why. What is the core role of a determiner? Then we'll map out the different families of determiners, which makes it so much easier. After that, we'll see them in action in a professional setting. We'll test your knowledge on a few common tricky spots, and then we'll wrap up with your next steps to fluency. It's a clear path from confusion to total confidence. First things first. Look, to really master any part of grammar, you have to understand its purpose. Why do determiners even exist in the first place? What's their job? Let's build that solid foundation right now. So, what exactly is a determinant? Well, think of it as a small but super powerful word that always comes right before a noun. Its job is to give us critical information. Is this noun masculine or feminine? Is it singular or plural? Are we talking about a specific one or just one in general? And here it is, the golden rule. The determiner must always agree with the noun. That's it. That's the foundation for everything we're about to cover. So, what are you going to walk away with? Our goal is pretty straightforward. By the end of our time together, you're not just going to recognize the different types of determiners. No, you'll be applying the agreement rules like a pro, you'll know how to avoid those common mistakes, and you'll be using them with confidence, especially in professional settings. Let's do this. It's easy to think of determiners as a bunch of random, tiny words, but that's not the right way to see them. It's better to think of them as one big family with several different branches. And once you get to know the branches, the whole system just clicks. So right now, we're going to create a clear mental map for you, so you can organize all this information perfectly. Okay, let's start with the most famous branch of the family, the articles. First up, you've got the definite articles, the article défini, like le and la. You use these for something specific. Like in the example, le dossier est prêt. The file is ready. We know exactly which file we're talking about. Next, you have the indefinite articles, articles indéfinis, like un and une, for something not specific. Une convocation a été envoyée. A summons was sent. Not a specific one, just a summons. And finally, you've got the partitives, like do. These are for an unknown amount of something. Il reste du matériel. There is some material left. See the difference? All right, next up, let's talk about how we point to things and show who owns what. The demonstratives, that's words like ce, cette, are basically like pointing your finger. They mean this or that. Look at the example. Cette note remplace l'ancienne. This memo replaces the old one. It's super precise. Then you have the possessives, like mon, ton, son. These show ownership. And here's the key thing to remember. They agree with the thing that's owned, not the owner. So in merci d'apporter votre carte, it's please bring your card. And to round out our family tree, we have the categories for quantity and questions. The quantitatives, like plusieurs, are all about amounts. Plusieurs agents sont attendus means several agents are expected. Numerals are pretty easy, they're just numbers or order. Trois dossiers is 3 files. And finally, you have the interrogatives, like quel. These are your question words. They help you ask about the noun. Quelle procédure suivez-vous? Which procedure are you following? Okay, theory is great, but let's get to the fun part. We need to bridge that gap between knowing the rule and actually using it. So how do these little words really show up in professional emails, on official signs, or in important documents? Let's take a look. Let's break this sentence down. First, you see cette circulaire. That's the demonstrative pointing to this specific circular. Then you have vos pièces d'identité. That's a possessive, your identity documents. See how each tiny word does a very specific job to make the meaning crystal clear? Here's another fantastic real-world example. Tout usager means every user. That's a quantitative determiner, setting a rule for everyone. Then prendre un ticket, to take a ticket. Any old ticket will do. After that, quel document? Which document? That's an interrogative asking for specifics. And finally, au premier étage, on the first floor. That's a numeral. These little words are absolutely everywhere, and they provide essential precision. All right, I think you're getting the hang of this. So now it's your turn to get in on the action. This section is all about tackling those tricky spots, the places where learners of French often get stuck. By facing these head-on, we're going to solidify your understanding for good. Ah, yes, the famous du dilemma. This is a classic trip-up. The word du can mean two totally different things, and it all comes down to context. On the left, it's a partitive article meaning some. Le service offre du café. The department offers some coffee. But on the right, it can be a contraction of de plus le, meaning of the or from the, like in le directeur revient du bureau. The director is coming back from the office. See? Context is everything. Okay, now for a really critical rule. This one isn't just about grammar, it's about the music of the French language. It's called elision. Basically, French hates it when two vowel sounds clash. It sounds clunky. So to keep things flowing smoothly, it shortens certain determiners right before a noun that starts with a vowel or a silent H. Nailing this is absolutely key to sounding natural. Let's see this in action because it makes so much more sense when you hear it. You wouldn't say l'horaire. You hear that stop? Instead it flows, l'horaire. It's not ça avis, it becomes cet avis. And check this one out. Even though ami is feminine, you say mon ami, not ma ami, just to avoid that vowel clash. It's all about that beautiful flow. Same thing with son école. All right, pop quiz time. Based on what we just covered, look at this sentence. The noun is horaire. We know it's masculine, but what letter does it start with? So which determiner do you need here? C'est or cette? Take a second to think about it. And the correct answer is cette. Of course, because horaire starts with that silent H, we need to use cette to keep the sentence flowing smoothly. Cet horaire sera affiché demain. Fantastic. You're already putting the rules into practice. Wow, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's just pause, zoom out for a second, and boil all of this down to the most important takeaways. Then we can talk about how this fits into your bigger journey toward real French fluency. Okay, if you only remember 3 things from our entire masterclass today, make it these 3. Number 1, agreement is king. Always, always match the determiner to the noun's gender and number. Number 2, master the shortcuts. Get really comfortable with elle, a, and du. And number 3, know when to drop the article. After a negative phrase or a word of quantity, you usually just use de. These 3 rules will solve, I'm not kidding, like 80% of your determiner problems. And you should know this masterclass isn't just a standalone video. It's actually a little window into a complete learning ecosystem we've built to support you. We believe in a total approach, which means personalized courses with certified professors, a 24/7 interactive platform so you can practice anytime, and a whole suite of tools, flashcards, audio guides, you name it, to fit exactly how you learn best. So, if you're really serious about not just learning French, but truly mastering it, we invite you to take that next step. Join us here at A French Rendezvous, Canada's leading language school, and let us give you the tailored support and expert guidance you need to smash your language goals. And before you go, I want to leave you with a challenge. Don't just let all this great information sit in your brain. You've got to put it to use. So my question is, what is one French sentence you can build right now, today, using the rules we've just covered? Go put your new knowledge into action. Thank you so much for joining me for this masterclass.
A French rendezvous.